Hello and welcome to Prison Architect, the game all about building prisons. I think the title of the game is quite self-explanatory, and in a similar style to Theme Hospital back in the day. So it's really got a lot of character, this game, and it makes it very fun to play indeed. I think a lot of games these days, they get a bit carried away with trying to make what looks on paper to be a good game, and they forget to actually add in the character to the game, the bit that makes it fun. But not Prison Architect. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it up how I like to play the game, and then hopefully that'll be something that you'll enjoy watching. So you get to select all this sort of bits and bobs that you want to include or not include at the start. So I'm not going to have failure conditions on. I can just end the game at any point that I choose. I'll have gangs on. It's always a good bit of fun. I'm not going to have weather on. I might disappoint some of you. It just means that you've got to put in these hot water pipes. I don't really like doing the water system in the game. I'd rather avoid having the weather on. The staff can have needs. And haven't played the game for a while, and the devs are constantly updating the game, putting new things in, and this escape plans, which I noticed before I started recording, says that some of the prisoners will now try to jump over the walls. I'm not too sure what to expect with this. It's something new, but it looks pretty fun, so I'm going to include it. And there's also these mutators. I had to read through these as well. These sound pretty fun, but they seem like they kind of make the game a bit arcadey, and that's something that I'm not wanting to do with this particular prison. But it might be something to look at a future date. Putting the random setting on would be pretty funny. Yeah, I won't go through these. I'll leave them for now. And then you can choose some different wardens that give you sort of some different sort of, I don't know, bonuses as it were. Just gonna go with the normal warden. Right, let's go. So I've got lakes on, which means that you get a a different looking map, and you got to work around the lakes. But it gives each prison that you build some character. I'm gonna pause it for now while I'm talking, having a look, and yeah. So it does mean that you've got to plan each prison a little bit differently. Let's see. I'm kind of thinking that these lakes at the start might be actually quite nice, just for using them as the perimeter. Although the prisoners are going to be trying to jump over the walls, but okay, right. So I haven't actually played the game for a while, so I'm just have to quickly have a look through and remember how to do some stuff. Okay, yeah, we want some grants, get some money coming in. Basic detention center, so you've got to build everything, and that's essentially one of the first things that gets done, as well as the administration center. You can have 2 grants. So yeah, basic detention center and administration center, and that gets the balance going a little bit. Okay. Let's close that. And so the deliveries can appear as well as our workmen. Gonna have to now start building all this stuff here. It's quite handy. They put all the stuff in the list on the side here. Might actually be a good idea to get the planning tool out, to be honest, and just decide what is and what isn't going to get built. I want a reception. Get that built here, something like that. No, not like that. That'd be nice. And I kind of want to use this section here for visitation. So the visitors they walk down the path here, and then this is the sort of the closest point for them. It just makes it a bit easier so they don't walk into the prison. I'll get to that at a later date. I think actually I do the obvious thing and start getting a fence built around the very edge. Just something to keep the workers busy while I get planning. Something that has to be done. Build this all the way around. It takes the workers a bit of time to get it done. Once it's done, and it's not something that needs to be worried about anymore. And it's definitely not a good idea to, in my opinion, to get doing something like that once you've really got going with the prison, as it then just slows the building down quite a lot. Now if I do go to the reports, it should say somewhere intake, yes. So for now we want to close the prison. We don't want to be getting any prisoners turning up while the foundations are getting laid for the prison. And then what can also be done is then having a kind of a temporary inner fence being built, because what happens is that drugs and weapons and stuff get thrown over the fence to about 10 squares in, and so if you just have the one wall as the perimeter, then your prisoners will go pick up all this stuff and then start using it to create havoc in the prison. So it's good then to have a little gap. And I can then use these lakes as a way of I guess reducing the building cost. I can just use them as the perimeter. So how many steps is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10. Something like that. Actually, yeah, no, I'll go that way. I'll do that. I'll do. Oh, come on. Work. Right, I'll do. Good. Then actually I'll leave that in for now, but build that up like that. This is going to be our entrance. This can then be the wall for now. Put that down there, and one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well, that's plenty. We'll do that for now. That'll do. Oh yeah, we need to plan it a bit better here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's 10 anyway. I actually don't quite remember. I'm sure it's something that will be discovered when the prisoners are collecting stuff that's been thrown over the walls because I built the inner fence too close. And what's going to be needed are some staff doors just to let them get into these areas. There's somewhere around here. Object staff doors, there we go, that'll do. Yeah, just so that they can at least get out to the perimeters. Can always change things around later on. Maybe that bit isn't actually helpful. Doesn't matter. That can just be left for now. Where else? It's out here as well, isn't there? Yeah. So we'll build that. There. Good. Let's look at the foundation built for the reception. This can then be the sort of the main entrance to the building. And so coming up next, we're going to have to be starting to build our first kind of... Actually, no, we want the administration centre because in bureaucracy we can unlock a load of different things that are going to be necessary for the game. I can't remember exactly all of them. It's going to make sense to start building the staff block. Try to think of where it's going to be the best place to be building that. I think I might put it up here just to have it as kind of like a actually, it's going to be best to have it there. I reckon then I'll put it down here. That'll hopefully be a good location. I've not thought this through at all, by the way, in case you're wondering. I could actually do with that coming back, so I know what's happening. Right. Oh, where was it then? Was it there? Is that the right one? No. Right, so one higher. Okay. Across there. Good. Right. Move that. So the offices need to be 4x4 for the office. 4x4. Okay, good. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And there needs to be several offices. Let's build a few more. Build them all next to each other like that, so it has a nice kind of wall across here. I'll do for now. It can be added to later. Put all of them in. And it's going to need some staff doors. Make them all the same. They can all have the same office. And we're going to need to have some doors into the prison. Enter there, leave there. That's all going to take some time as the workers still building away. Right, we need to put somewhere for the exports so we can make some money. We'll probably need another staff door somewhere here just to let them into the main area. Put that there for now. You can always move stuff around, get demolishing stuff, rebuilding, figure it all out as we go along. Let's get a couple more workmen to actually, maybe not, just because we've got to worry about the cash flow. Don't want to run out of money too quickly. Okay, so they're going to come in through the reception, and then we're going to need a holding cell, which I reckon can go opposite the reception. Then there can be a path that goes up here to parts of the prison up here, another path that can go down around here somewhere, and maybe another path that goes out directly into the middle. That'll probably be the most important path. So maybe having the holding cell not quite opposite, but like a little bit down here, might be a good way of doing things. I'm pretty sure the holding cell's got to be quite big. 5 times 5, it's not so big, it's alright. So let's build that. I'll have the path being a couple of squares. We'll build the holding cell like so. I'll build it a little bit bigger than it needs to be. And this area here can be kept for potential visitation. So of all this column up here, I want to be keeping that for visitation. The workers are making good progress with the defence. Have they done all this bit as well? Yep, they have. Good. The first few episodes are just going to be getting the initial foundations in, getting a bit of building done, sorting out all of that stuff. And once you get a few episodes in, that is then when the prisoners will be arriving and the fun will begin. Right. Come on, workers. I want them to hurry up, to be honest. What else is going to need to be built? So there's then going to need to be our first block or maybe it might be better to get an area for the yard and the kitchen and the canteen planned out, and then we can then have the blocks of prisoners surrounding the canteen. I'm thinking of having, you know, centrally located yard and canteen, then you have a block of minimum, medium and high security prisoners around, and then you can then separate when they are able to use the facilities so they don't clash, and then you can then have just the one canteen and yard for all of them. So let's do that. Build a nice size canteen, and if we'll have 3 blocks, 1, 2 and 3 for the prisoners, and then if we have the canteen down here somewhere, and the kitchen here, and the staff room down here as well, then all the sort of staff buildings can be kept in their own kind of little isolated block. Just to make things easier for the staff. And there can be a little canteen somewhere down here as well, just for the staff. So if we have the kitchen somewhere around right here, like so, looks like a nice sized kitchen, something like that. And then we build a canteen, something nice and big like that. Looks good, although does look like the money needs to be worried about a little bit. But oh, okay, right, it doesn't like that. Maybe then that'll be better. Okay, that's a nice size canteen, and yet then it does join on like so. Good. The yard can just have a fence. Like so. And that just joins straight onto the kitchen. And so then the prisoners, they can come into the yard, into the canteen, straight from the yard, and then onto whatever they have to do after that. Probably go to work and earn the prison some money. Actually kind of do with this being prioritized. Control, left click. Kind of think I oh yeah, no, good. So they can get that prioritized, just so that then we can get going with the bureaucracy. And we're going to have to start building our first block of cells for our minimum security prisoners. So I think it's going to be the best sort of layout. It might then even be a good idea to have maybe a protective custody block around here. There'll be a path going around the back. Protective custody block here. Seemed like quite a nice location to have it. And there's then the kitchen there. They can have their own canteen. The officers don't have to have their own walls between them, but it's quite nice. Quite nice to give them some privacy. So let's make one office. Office desk, chair and filing cabinet. Office desk. Chair. Nicely positioned in front of the office desk. Give them a filing cabinet. And then there's also other things you can put in there just to make them a little bit happier, like a radio. It goes that way around. And there's automatic lights is on. Might be a good idea to turn that off. I don't know. To be honest, I'll just leave automatic lights on. The game can figure it out. Barbed wire. Okay, so right. I'm not sure what to expect with the with these new escapes that the prisoners can do, but I'm guessing. And can they literally just jump over the wall? Is that what they can do? Unless I put this barbed wire in. I get the impression that there's going to be like a really embarrassing start to this game when the prisoners all turn up and they all just jump over the walls and escape. Maybe they've got a little bit more restraint than that. I think it's definitely then going to be worth building the prison blocks over here, just so that in case of an emergency we can just quickly build a fence like across here or something, and then keep the prisoners contained. Rather than having the sort of the blocks down here or something and then having to build this barbed wire over all the fence, it can just be built on the local areas. Oh yeah, we want a bin in the office as well. Maybe. So $20. Stick it in there. Probably the wrong way round. I'm sure it's not going to matter. Right. Prioritize this office, please. We need to get it done so that then the bureaucracy can be done. Okay, now let's build, and we'll get planning to build a block of cells. Build one here, we'll just build one over here. Make it nice and big. You can always fill in all the gaps later. Wait, where's the okay, so yeah, that can be be a block of cells here, and then a path that goes around here, but they can go straight from their block of cells straight to the yards. Probably build another one here, another one here. I have had some layouts before on Prison Architect that I thought were really good, but that was quite a while ago. I don't remember it all, and so this is going to be a case of trial and error, and possibly at some point in the future, once I got my feet again on the game, there will then be a prison that's built that actually has some structure and some organisation to it and looks good, and it'll be all brilliant and fantastic. But for now, the prison that's going to be built is just going to be made up as we go along, and may not be the best prison that that's ever been seen. Let's get some prison cells put in, something like this. They've got to be 2 by 3 until some something in bureaucracy has been unlocked that allows you to have tiny cells, and then they can be 1 by 3. Now we can get the warden. Maybe I could have got him before the office was built. I'm not sure. Anyway, right. Bureaucracy. So we need to get a finance lady. Basically, we need to get all of this stuff anyway. So let's just get it all being made, something like that. I'll do health later on once we've got that grant underway. We've got to build 2 offices, unlock finance, so that's the one getting done next. Then we get the accountant, and that gets us then another 5 grand, and on to the next grant. Good. Yeah, the main thing with the start is just to work your way through all the grants. I'm going to do, compared to the last series that I did, which the episodes were an hour long, the episodes for this series, oh, we need a door there. Yeah, the episodes for this series are going to be half an hour long. See, let's build something like that. Like that. I don't know. No, not there. Bollocks. There, that'll do. Right, yeah, good. Yeah, the episodes are going to be half an hour long rather than an hour long, and the time has actually gone really rather quick. It's already been half an hour, so that's going to then be the end of the episode already. I'm hoping that doing half an hour episodes is going to be a good approach. Alright. That's going to conclude this episode then. Hopefully in a few episodes time, once the prisoner intake starts, it'll get a bit more interesting. I'll have all of it in there just for completeness, but maybe for some of you be better just to skip to sort of, you know, episode 3 or 4 or something when the prisoners turn up, and you'll find that a bit more interesting. But for those of you that want to see the whole thing built, everything will be going up online. All right, that's gonna conclude this episode. Thank you for watching, and shall see you in the next episode.